Elderly couple Elaine and David McClain are suing Spike Lee for $15,000 after he tweeted their address during the George Zimmerman case. He mistakenly believed that their address was George Zimmerman's address, and he put it out on Twitter. Of course, people started sending death threats and making other threats to this elderly couple unknowingly, because they did think that it was George Zimmerman's address. Now, after this happened, initially, Spike Lee did settle for about $10,000. However, the couple says that a year and a half later, the tweets still keep coming in, people are still retweeting it, and they're still getting threats, and they're worried about their safety. So that's why they're suing again for $15,000. Now, Spike Lee refuses to pay it. He says that the continued harassment was foreseeable. And so now the couple is wondering what they're supposed to do. They are going to go forward with the lawsuit, but I think it's a little funny that Spike Lee, the guy who spends $10,000 for every Knicks game, doesn't want to pay $15,000 for this couple. But a good argument could be made that he already settled, so why does he have to go back and pay again? So,
well, to be fair, I think that the Knicks game tickets went for $10,000 on his Indiegogo campaign, so it's not every game. But yes, to have courtside tickets for the Knicks costs a pretty penny, and
Those
you can make a lot of
money. $5,000 seats. I don't know.
Yeah. Right. So now I'm really torn on this. I'm not a big Spike Lee fan, to say the least. But how often do you get to go back to the well? That's an interesting question. Well, what happens on the Young Turks when we have an interesting question? Drop it. All right, I'm curious where you come out on this, Ben.
Assuming that the elderly couple who did nothing and whose address you posted on Twitter is not trying to extort you, which I guess is slightly possible. They got 10, they're coming back to the well.
10 is nothing.
It's nothing.
He
It
wipes
doesn't.
his ass with $10,000.
Yeah, I would pay them, and I would pay to. What I would do is go to whatever city they live in. They're somewhere in Florida, and change the address. Like, get it fixed. Change it somehow.
Can Spike Lee do that? Does he
Well, I
have
mean,
that
the
kind
odds
of power?
are you're not. I mean, if you're at 64-16, maybe you're right in between 64-18 and 64-14, or whatever I said. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But like, there's probably a gap. Like, just come up with a different address. Call it something else. That can be done. They did it with OJ's house.
So you'd pay it?
Yeah, I'd pay it. I'd pay it. It would never have let it get this far. It turns out the threats have gone on.
If you're Spike Lee.
If I were Spike Lee, I would pay it, sure. Yeah. Dude, $10,000 that he got off originally, I mean, that's nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah, I'm not convinced yet. Look, I think Spike Lee is...
You don't like Spike Lee because
I don't like him, man.
You think he did the wrong thing at the end to do the right thing in 1989.
No. Okay. All right. Let's be honest. That's true. Okay. But I let that go decades ago. Okay.
Decades?
No. I did. But at every turn, he does the wrong thing. At every turn, and it was some story. I forget which one it was that put me over the top. About a year ago or so, he did another douchebag move, which he always does, right? And this, I mean, putting out the address, the only thing that's worse than this poor elderly couple, being harassed by people endlessly is, what if it was actually George Zimmerman's address and somebody went and shot him?
Exactly.
I got no love for Zimmerman, right? But that's a horrible, terrible thing to do.
Or shot his brother or his wife or any of the other number of people who could have been there.
Vandalize their car driving by one. And there's, look, the average person who's going to go, let's go get this guy right now, is not a high information person.
Right.
So the fact that it's not his actual address, they may not look that far.
It's very irresponsible.
Yeah, it's terrible. But the flip side is, if you give him $15,000 extra now, okay, then a year from now they go, well, the tweet's still going around. I'll take another 25.
So you have language written in the agreement that after this $15,000, you're done. There's no more going back to the well. You can make sure that that wording exists. And I totally agree that the original settlement was way too low considering what he had done to that couple. So if the original settlement was like $500,000 or something, then I'd be like, oh, come on, really? You're coming back for more money?
To a new house.
Exactly. But in this case, $10,000 is nothing. I don't think that $15,000 is much. And so I'm in favor of Spike Lee giving them more money, the money that they're asking for, and he can include language indicating that they cannot go back.
Well, look, I can comfortably be the dissenting voice here. Spike Lee's going to lose anyway, 3-1. But a deal's a deal. It just bothers me on principle.
How do we know what the deal was?
No, I mean, he gave him $10,000.
I know,
they
and
took
if it goes
and they're
on,
like, oh, the tweet, it turns out, keeps coming. Yeah, I know, it's still out there, and it was a dick move, and that's why he gave you 10,000. Now you want another 15.
It got particularly bad after the verdict was read.
Uh-huh.
So that's the reason why, they started getting the threats again.
I don't, I wouldn't want to restart those talks. And then
Why didn't he delete the tweet, by the way?
He did.
No, he did. He just
but
still
people-
pops up.
More people tweet. Okay,
Yeah.
People have it and they retweet it or they saved it. And
Yeah.
they,
All right, Spike, in a shocking turn of events, I actually vote with you. Nonetheless, I'm outvoted
your
3-1.
dissent is rather indefensible. You haven't given a good reason for it.
No, on principle.
No, he did. A deal's a deal.
A deal's a deal.
But we don't know what that deal was. I
You do
agree.
know it was $10,000.
No, I know,
for
but if
putting out
that,
the
deal,
tweet.
if that deal was, I'm never giving you any more money and we've closed it off, but if the
Oh, no, I make a deal with you. Believe me, I'm not giving you any more money.
if you cause me an injury, if we get into a fight that you start and you break my leg and you go, I'm going to cover your medical costs, it's $10,000. Okay, great, thanks. Oh, it turned out the leg got infected. That cost $38,000 more. You don't feel like you have any responsibility to pay that?
Well, that was not foreseeable. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, I'm breaking your leg. That's on me, right? The infection, that's on you.
That's my own weakness.
That's right. It's your lousy body.
You
then.
can't heal, right?
I didn't make your body weak sauce. You did. Okay. Well, anyway, we have a ruling.